everyone. In today's session, I will talk about a little bit Kubernetes and the security challenges we have and how we address them and how we can focus on them. Let's start with a bit of primer before that we are all on the same page. Why do we use Kubernetes? What is the value we get out of them? What challenges we have? A few topics are already covered in the first short keynote, and I will really go to this on a really fast pace that we have enough time. A long time ago, or 10 years, so in the IT it's really long time ago, Docker was there. Docker built up a new solution for containerizing a virtualization solution for the application to build it in a container. This was really done for cost-effective, for fast deployment, ability to run everywhere, but especially in the cloud as well, because you can develop the application locally, you can run it everywhere. You have the same environment, you just take your container image and run it wherever you want. And it changed totally the architecture of the applications. It brings us to microservices. We have different containers for different things, and that handles how we patch them, how we develop them, what challenges we have. But if you have a look on this, you see one part missing, and that's the security part. And the containerization that has so much advantages, but it has also some challenges for us. Containers completely disrupt our norms. Yeah, if the container fails, it does not solve all problems. From monoliths to microservices, traditional security tools may fail. When you think about patching, when you think about Log4j, for example, in an old world, the administrator decided to log into the server, patch it, that's done. If you patch the running container, this will not help you, because you spin up a new one, you have exactly the same problem as well. So this brings us to the point, how do we handle security? What should we see? How can we handle it over the different clouds? How can we address this? Scaling operations to the cloud. Also the full part of the scaling. On a Black Friday, if you're, let's say, we're talking about a web shop, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. There you scale up to 100 instances. Next days, you go down to 1 or 10 or 5, whatever you need. It's a very dynamic way. That's really good for the operations team, because it is cost effective. You only need the power, the compute power. In that case, you can spin it automatically. But how do you work with the security teams? And that brings a lot of challenges between the different teams. And that was when we are talking from DevOps, changed often to DevSecOps, that we really can address this. And how do we deploy, orchestrate these containers in a reliable production-grade environment? And that was then 8 years ago, 2014, with Kubernetes, as Google introduced Kubernetes as an orchestration that you can decide where to run, have also the networking part. This was going also to the public clouds now. Every public cloud vendor has our Kubernetes, if you run it by your own, if you run it in a managed way. The load balancer get automatically spinned up, the network is done, everything is orchestrated. That's really good from an operational perspective, but really hard from a security thing. Cloud adoption, I mentioned already. Deploy faster, because it takes seconds to spin it up. And it reduces cost, because now you have really the orchestration for all your container images. I want to now go over a customer story. We are really in deep touch with them, the challenges that they have and what they are seeing, and how Orca Security helps to address them. It's a rapid growing fintech. global a company using AWS, Azure, GCP, have different admins running the different clouds. In these clouds, they're running their Kubernetes, EKS, GKS, and all the different things. What issues they have? One is a lot of misconfiguration. Each cloud looks like more or less the same, but it's totally different. It's really a kind of big impact if you have misconfigurations. A lack of visibility, because if you don't know exactly from a scaling perspective what is running, where it is running, how much containers are running, you don't know it. Public cloud, it's running to the internet. You have a broad attack surface. You can be really targeted within seconds. If anybody has tried to spin up an VM, a container, it gets attacked within seconds. Expert shortage. I'm out of Austria. Here it's one of a big challenge that we address with all customers, or get from all customers, is we don't have enough people that can maintain this, that can secure this, that can operate them. Another thing, unapproved images. Who knows what image is improved? What's the compliance standard for this? What's the best practice? It's easy just to write a new image, build it on a different way, put it there, but you don't know if it's safe, if it's patched. How do you handle this? And here, we from Orca say, okay, agent-based tools don't scale. The next thing, and this has to be done with the expert shortage as well, a poor risk prioritization. If you get 1,000 alerts, it will not help you, because what's the 5 importance that you can handle? What's the 10, 15 alerts that you will handle in the next few days, and the rest, what you don't have to care about it? And multiple silo tools. You need one pane of glass where you see everything, where you see the configuration, the compliance, where you see your containers, where you see your images, and where you also see the underlying infrastructure, because there is compute under it, because otherwise you cannot run things. That's why we are securing Kubernetes with Orca Security. Orca Security has 4 principal Cs. Coverage. Cloud security requires 100% of visibility and coverage of the entire cloud estate. It's really, really important that you see exactly all what's on, and not a part or 90%, because what's with the different 10%? You have to see really all. Comprehensive. The cloud must be secured holistically, one solution to detect all security risks. As I mentioned, also on the underlying layer, on the VM, on the EC2 instances, under an EKS cluster. The context, and that's a main thing for me personally, and that I really, really like, is the context. We get the data from the control plane, we get it from the data plane, and we get it from different sources, and then we put it together in a context to say, these 5 alerts are really, really high critical for you. And that's the way how an attacker sees it. Please focus on these things. And then that's the 5 things we have to fix it within days. And the other ones we have to fix within weeks or months or however. Or do another way of remediation, because sometimes fixing is not possible. And consumable. Makes no sense if you cannot consume all this information. That's also really, really important. How does the solution work, or what is? Orca Security has there introduced site scanning. That's our patent-pending solution where we can scan all the information without any agent. That means we scan everything that's running in the cloud on malware, misconfigurations, vulnerabilities, everything based on the site scanning technology. You see here EC2 instances, the EKS cluster. You have there the containers. We scan the S3 buckets. We say everything with the site scanning technology without any agent. And of course, the metadata, which we get from the clouds. where we know what subnets they have, in which VPC they are they load balancer, are they internet facing, as well as the audit logs, CloudTrail logs, to mix them all together in one solution. Especially when we are talking about Kubernetes visibility. It's not only the side scanning, it's also connecting to the Kubernetes API to get all the information, where it's running, in what's namespace, what's role, what's cluster, service account, daemon sets, to get all this information, to jump back 2 slides, to bring it in a context and make it consumable for you. We have here the context and the prioritization. You see the asset, and you see exactly in the attack path what's going on, who is running, which container is running, what he is doing, what's connected. And we get every alert, we get every information we need directly out of it. A second big thing is compliance. You have to check your compliance against CIS benchmarks, against GDPR, against NIS, against PCI. We can run all these tests automatically. You see where you fail, you see where you pass, you see all this information. And of course, you have the possibility to modify these compliance standards on your needs. Because sometimes you say, okay, I will handle it, for example, I'm in the healthcare environment. I would handle it nearly like HIPAA, but we are not in US, so we have to modify it by our own. That's how it looks like. That's the agentless inventory, topology, and compliance. I told already with the attack path, see it how a hacker will see it. Reconstruct the cluster from snapshot and control the data plane. You see exactly how it's going in. It's going over the public internet to a content delivery network, to the load balancer. There I have the managed Kubernetes nodes. And behind them, the load balancer in a logical way is my Nginx. Then is my database, and there is the sensitive data. And I see, okay, I have here the key. I can access with this key, this virtual machine, this database to get this information. But Orca Security is more than container security. Cloud-native application protection platform. It works on Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, Alibaba, Oracle. It's not done there. We have the unified data model, and that's really, really important to bring the data in the context, to have them, to see it. We see the control configurations for the permissions, the IAM roles, everything. And, of course, the workloads. And we have it for the VM, we have it for the virtualization of the containers, and we have it for the next level, for the serverless as well. And there we can handle malware, vulnerabilities, unsecured configuration, maybe the private key stored in the image. It also, all of these tests, you can include in your pipeline. You can do it with a shift-left security during your build deploy process, that you can really handle the security alerts before you run these machines. With all this information, I want to say thank you for the time. Thank you for being here. And maybe if you have some more questions, just let me know.
Thank you. And what do you say? Is CNAPP open source?
No, the Orca Security solution is a SaaS service where you can connect your cloud accounts and get it. And does it work on premise? As I said, it's a SaaS. No, we are really addressing the focus on the public cloud, running everything in the public cloud.
Okay. And does Orca support OTC Cloud?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
So okay. We are founded in 2019, maybe in the future. At the moment, we support this. Clouds was there, Azure, AWS, Google, Alibaba, and Oracle.
Okay. So I love that you started voting up questions. That's pretty nice. Keep on doing that as soon as you see some questions. We will back here in a few minutes at 10 a.m. with Thorsten Hollmann from SUSE. And let's give another applause to Rene for his answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.